Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You got your coffee?
I got mine. Coffee time.
Yeah, coffee time.
How's everybody doing?
I mean, I'm trying to wake up.
Yes. Right.
So we have no Jason today.
No Jason. So I wore black. I'm on this side. Like, I'm really trying. I'm trying to be Jason as much as I can.
Yeah.
Jason, if you're out there, hi.
Yeah. So if you're new here, we're Warm N Cozy Quilting, and I'm Danielle.
I'm Sadie.
And we are glad to have you here today.
Yes.
So,
did you guys know that we're sisters?
Maybe you know that?
You didn't know. But now that we're like next to each other, can you see? Can you tell?
Right. Also, we're 13 years apart.
Yes.
So until we worked together, we never fought.
No.
Then we worked together, and we still don't fight. But
no,
we're
not really.
I'm like, ugh. And she goes, ugh, sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's it. Anyway, yeah, we're sisters.
Yeah. Family-owned business.
Yeah.
Owned and operated.
Right.
Plus Kelly.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Oh, Jason is on.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, he says, I don't think you all have done the Saturday morning coffee together.
I don't think we have.
Yeah, no, it's usually me and Jason, or you and Jason, or
you and Mom have done before, like done a demo. I mean, that's been a while, but
new combo.
Right? Tell us what you think. Give us likes and, or angry face. No, don't do that. Unless you really are angry, then you can be angry.
Sure.
I'm not telling anybody how they can feel. So,
say hello to some people this morning.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like we have Regina on. Good morning, Regina.
Good morning.
And Jason's out there. Hi, Jason. And good morning, Deborah. And good morning, Dolores.
Hello.
And good morning to Jackie over on YouTube from Indiana.
Good morning. Awesome.
Happy to be here.
Yes. So, why is Jason not here? What the heck happened? Why is he on, but he can't be here? Doesn't he know that it's Saturday morning? So,
no, genuinely, probably not.
Right. Exactly.
Jason rarely knows what day it is. He always says it's Monday.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's another Monday. I'm like, no. Anyway. But yeah, so no, it's not Monday. Yes, it is Saturday. He had to take Victoria to Mizzou today. She is trying out for marching Mizzou. And she was, she's like, she could drive it. It's 2 hours, but she was like, I'm just a little nervous to drive that far.
Right.
And so Jason said, I'll take you. Let's go. So then he found out that it's a whole day. He thought she was going there, going to try out, bring her back, right?
No.
Whole day. So now Jason is in Columbia, Missouri, and, going to figure out something to do.
Yeah.
What is that face he made?
He did the M-I-Z, and then we have to Z-O-U.
Z-O-U, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get this figured out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing great. It's fine. We also have Vicky joined us. Good morning, Vicky, and Sandy, and Pamela.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So,
but yeah, it is the end of the school year. Start talking about, summer events and college next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the fall we got, oh man.
Yes.
So, last night was a great show.
So good.
My girls were in the musical Mamma Mia. And if you know Mamma Mia, Victoria played Donna, so the mom, so one of the lead roles there, right?
Yeah. Meryl Streep in the movie.
Yeah, right.
You've seen the movie.
So Victoria just played Meryl Streep.
Yeah,
no big deal.
Right.
No big deal. Anyway, so we had that Thursday and Friday. Today he's taking her there. Tomorrow's graduation. We're like, so yes, he's lucky to have his shoes on at this point, because all of us are kind of going, what is on the calendar? When am I supposed to be where? Hopefully I show up at the right place at the right time.
Yes.
And it's all good. So Oh, thank you. People are saying, good luck to her. And yes, we wish you luck, Victoria.
Yes.
She's already there. She's already doing this stuff. So that's really cool. I'm super excited for her. So, yeah, we're not looking forward to her leaving, but it's not happening yet.
But you all know her. You've seen her grow up, here at the shop. You know how amazing she is and how proud of her we all are. And so even though that means that she'll be around the shop a little less, it's ultimately a good thing. So we are very happy for her. Very excited to see what this next chapter is going to be. Right. And then we're not going to talk about it anymore so nobody has to cry on camera.
Exactly.
And that's it. So we got through it. So instead we're going to talk about classes.
Yeah.
Because maybe you have kiddos and your schedule is going to be lighter coming up, or you're just looking to push yourself or try another technique or get out of your box. All good reasons to take classes.
All those things are good. Yeah. So, So Terry is saying there's good places to eat, and he could go by Target. There's a fabric shop by Target. I was like, I don't know why Jason will never go to Target, but anyway, not unless he's dragged there. But yeah, there's 3 quilt shops in Columbia, Missouri, so he definitely could go quilt shop hopping.
Yeah.
But he did see a Bass Pro Shop. So Victoria sent me a picture. We found what Dad's doing today.
Nice.
So, there's a Bass Pro. Oh, share. Did you share? Everyone share. Jason's hollering at you. And anyway, so classes.
Yes.
So, yes, pushing yourself a little bit is a great thing.
Right?
Try something new. Do a different technique. See if you like that better. Those kind of things. All good, right?
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk a little bit about our calendar here at the shop because there's a lot of different things going on. Okay.
Yes.
So first off, let's talk about this one.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a hand quilting class.
Yeah. How cool is that?
It is so cool. So first of all, it's one of those things that we have talked about for a while.
Sure.
And it's like, I don't hand quilt.
I don't either.
Right. So, and we want somebody who does a good job,
right,
to teach people. So, just one day, Mom said, "Hey, Carol, you want to teach a hand quilting class?"
And she said yes.
And she said yes. And so it's been great. This is like the second time I think we're having this class. So I don't know how well this shows up on camera.
Oh yeah, you can see that.
But you make this little. You have this stenciled on a piece of fabric. You learn how to hand quilt it, and you learn how to get you learn the hand quilting stuff that I don't know.
Right. Like marking and how to piece on a curve or how to quilt on curves and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
How to rock the needle. I don't know what that means, but these are things I've heard.
Yes. So one thing I think I'm going to have to go over to the page because this calendar doesn't tell me enough stuff. Like what's the times?
Right.
Okay. So let's go over here.
Right. No, hand quilting is such a cool skill. And a lot of times if most people are learning it in a church basement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you don't have a relationship with the church in your area that teaches hand quilting, or that group has disbanded, or whatever.
Right.
So for all of those reasons, it's really nice for us to be able to offer a hand quilting class here. Just to get rid of some of those barriers.
Right. And to learn a new skill, doing some hand quilting. Maybe you don't like it and you never do it again. Or maybe you love it and this is, a great way for you to finish some of those kind of heirloom type things that you want to get done. And it may even get you into meeting some other people who also hand quilt or want to hand quilt or want to do better at hand quilting.
Yes.
And where can I get into a group where I can do this more often?
Right.
Right. So hand quilting class is on the 24th, May 24th. And it is, why doesn't this tell me everything on the page that I want it to? It's from 10 to noon, so just 2-hour class, and it's $30. I think you have to buy some fat quarters. Yeah, 4 fat quarters, and that's it.
Yeah.
So Not a whole lot of supplies that you need to purchase. Now,
Bring your hands. You'll need those.
Yeah, you'll need a needle and you'll need a hoop of some kind. A lot of times people who have signed up for this class are like, I already have stuff, I'm fine. But we do have all of those things here available if you need something to purchase. Okay?
Another thing that's great about classes is that community aspect, right? Sometimes your friends don't understand this whole quilting thing. They're like, what? You're buying more fabric? Don't you have some already? And you're like, ew, that's not the kind of friend I want.
Exactly.
So make friends in class and then they understand. They're like, yes, girl, let's go buy some fabric together.
Exactly. And I'm not going to ask you what you're going to use it for.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So yeah, we've had that happen so many times in classes where it is so cool to me that people that you wouldn't have guessed would hang out together, end up hanging out together, going to lunch together after class, that kind of stuff. And it's really nice. One of the biggest things that we have wanted to do always is build community, build a community of quilters that are like-minded.
Yeah.
So, okay. The next thing we've got is, so this is,
it's a whole cloth.
It's a whole cloth.
You want me to scooch and...
Yeah. So I think it's best to show it on this side first, because then you can see. So this, let's talk about it from the front first. So she used a blue thread so that it wouldn't show up here, right? So you just see the indentation of the quilting. But it's really nice to turn it to the back so that we can show it on camera and show you how intricate those details are. So this is
beautifully quilted.
Yeah. This used to be a 4-week class.
Yes.
And we do it for like 3 hours, 4 different times. And that became difficult to fill a class because you have to have 4 Fridays in a row available. And everyone's schedules are tough, right?
Right.
So we started doing this in 2 full day classes so that you still get 4 classes worth, but you're only having to schedule for 2 days. You do a ton of sample quilting. You learn all different kinds of background fills. So doing pebbles, doing meanders, doing loops and curls, things like that. So things that you can use as an all over, as a background in something, or to add into your whole cloth. You learn feathers. Also, you do some ruler work, and then you design a whole cloth and quilt it out. So
you're going to get a taste of a lot of techniques in this class.
Right. So you are free motion quilting on your domestic machine. So this is a machine quilting class that uses your domestic machine so that you understand and get the feeling, and you can take that home and continue on.
Yes.
So I've had some people who are like, well, like, can I just borrow a machine? And that is absolutely fine.
Sure.
But what I find is that it's better if you already understand how your machine works. And then we're adding in this, because it's kind of hard to learn a new machine and a new technique. And there's a lot of, the foot pedal has to go so fast. It's kind of stuff. I don't know why I'm scaring people. Why am I trying to scare
people? Well, one of the goals of taking a class like this is being able to finish quilts yourself.
Right.
And that is going to be a lot easier for you to accomplish if you're already comfortable with your machine and you're doing it on your home machine.
Right. So come take this class. It is, let me click the buttons. Jason is dying. He's like, why doesn't she have all of this right there in front of her? I don't know.
He says, borrow a machine with stitch regulation.
Oh my gosh, yes. So we do have stitch regulated machines that are wonderful. You may want to go home with one. That's kind of a downside there.
Yeah, we can get you really comfortable with it in class, and then you can take it home and be comfortable with it at home.
Right. So this is a 2-day class that happens on 2 consecutive Thursdays. So from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on May 23rd and May 30th. And it's $120. Like I said, this is 4 classes worth of information. The only thing you have to purchase is 2 fat quarters so that you can do that whole cloth at the end. You will need, we'll have other things like you may need a ruler foot. Maybe your machine didn't come with one. We'll get one ordered for you and we'll help you out there. So there may be some extra things that you end up purchasing, but most of the time it's minimal. Okay. So what else do we got? Oh, I skipped over one. It seems like I'm going backwards from next week, right? I did Friday, the 24th, now Thursday. Now let's go all the way back to Tuesday. So on Tuesday, the 21st, I'm doing Master Your Stripology.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is the one-day workshop that takes you through this whole book. I have a lot of the projects hung up behind me that you learn how to do. You're going to do half square triangles, flying geese. You're going to really understand your stripology ruler well. We're going to do some 60-degree angles. People are amazed, like, how did you do diamonds and triangles with a ruler that is just a straight ruler? So,
So what is a stripology ruler, you might be asking?
That is what you're asking.
This is a ruler that has slits every ½ inch so that you can cut parallel cuts to make accurate cutting.
Absolutely, yeah.
It makes things a lot faster.
Mm-hmm. If you think about every time you pick up your ruler, that's a little bit more time, and you could have lined up with the wrong line. So having something that has slits every ½ inch, and you're just making cuts, and then you move your ruler, one time instead of 15 times. It's a really good. Yeah, thanks for doing that, because I was just like, oh, everybody knows.
Yeah, sometimes I don't.
Yeah,
the other thing, maybe you know, maybe you don't, is the creator of the stripology ruler. First off, she's very smart. She's put a lot of things in these rulers that if you don't have this class and you don't have this book, you might not know that you have these tools available to you.
Right.
Second, Danielle actually went and studied with her, trained under Gudrun Erla, the designer of the ruler. So she is a certified stripology teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting taught from the best that you could be.
Exactly. Yeah. I now want to go, I have a stripology club that's been happening, running side by side. And those students who signed up for the club are doing a 6-month, coming in once a month. They're making every single project in the book, rather than like the one-day class where we go over how to do everything. If you aren't really using it and making a project, sometimes you don't get the benefit of it sinking in, right? So working on probably early fall, starting up the club again for those who didn't join last time, who may want to join now. Maybe you took my stripology workshop and you're like, I want to do more. We're going to have that starting in the fall. So be looking for that.
And then what do we have on the 28th related to stripology?
Right. So on the 28th, which is the day after my birthday, we have a 10 to 4 class for JoJo. So JoJo is in Stripology Mixology 2. It is this one here. It's also right behind me, one with the little squares. So we're going to make that quilt. I love this quilt. It is one that gets talked about most often in the shop because it looks like it's difficult. And it is really simple. I love the technique. I love that Gudrun has figured out the math and we don't have to worry about it. And she just tells you like where to cut, and you're going to get this very dynamic looking quilt. I frequently have people say, did you applique those little squares on? Or how do you get those squares floating in your quilt? I'm like, it's magic trick. I always like things that look a little tricky and are not. So.
Right? You can impress your friends, and then you're like, also, it wasn't even that hard, and it didn't take me that long.
Right.
Because I have a stripology ruler, which made it so fast and easy.
Yeah. So JoJo is the 28th, and it is $45. Really, the information that I'm going to teach you, I could teach this class in 2 hours, and you would have a good feel for that. But I really wanted to have it as an all-day class so that we get from 10 to noon, you've got the information. We take a break for lunch, you come back, you're going to get most of your quilt made in that day. So
Yeah.
really an awesome class.
Sometimes the biggest barrier is just setting aside the time.
Oh my
So if
gosh.
you've already set aside the time for the
For
class, you get like most of it done. Then you just have to come up with another day to finish it up. No big deal.
Right. So let's see here. What else was I going to say about that? Oh, you have to have the book and you need to have fabric, right? So, and fabric needs to be purchased here. You could have already purchased it. Don't care. You can bring it. I just would prefer that you're not bringing something from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it does take, so one cozy cut will get you a lap size quilt. So if you wanted it just slightly bigger, this quilt does not have any borders. So you could easily add a border and make it larger that way. You could decide to make the twin size. I mean, I think in the book it has
Several sizes.
Almost everything that Gudrun does has several sizes. So I love that.
Also, the mixology books also come with drink recipes if that's your thing.
Yeah.
So that's a nice
One,
little
two,
bonus.
3, 4, 5. There's 6 different sizes that you can make in here. So from crib all the way to king. So, yeah. And so a cozy cut, one cozy cut will get you a lap size because you need 48 10-inch squares. The only thing that I ask that is done before class is that you have your 10-inch squares cut out.
Perfect.
And if you don't, we'll do it first. Right? Yeah. One thing you don't want to do is come and go, oh, well, I need to starch my fabric. Well, that's going to be a little tricky. But it's really a quilt that I never starch my fabric for the JoJo because it is very forgiving.
Yes.
And
So Jason asked a great question. What's a cozy cut? So a cozy cut is our answer to pre-cuts. Right. Sometimes you can buy like a 10-inch square pack. Maybe it's pinking sheared. Maybe it doesn't have enough squares in it.
Right.
Maybe.
Or it gives you one of everything in that whole line, including the background print.
Right.
That is now too light, or there's only 40 squares in there instead of the pattern needs 48. So
it is a collection of fabrics that we have put together. Typically, it is 12 fabrics that are cut 11-ish by width of fabric. So you can cut your 10-inch squares or your 2.5-inch strips or your 5-inch squares out of your cozy cut.
Comfortably. You can starch it if you want. You can not. It's okay. But sometimes when we starch, it kind of draws up a little bit one direction or it distorts a little bit. If you buy a pre-cut that's already cut to that size, if it's pinking sheared, if it's already 10, maybe it's just barely 10, and then you starch it, now it's not 10 inches. So
how much fabric is in a cozy cut?
There is 3 2/3 yard of fabric in a cozy cut.
Perfect.
So ours does, our cozy cuts, our pre-cuts have more fabric in them than your standard 10-inch square pack or 2.5-inch strip pack.
Yes.
So
Sandy also asked a great question. Will you have the class on another day? We will absolutely be offering it again, probably later in the summer. But if you are interested in stripology classes specifically, we are working on building more of those into our schedule. So keep an eye out.
Yeah. I definitely want to teach a Nova. Did we put Nova on here?
We did.
Okay. So I'll get to that. Nova is a great class. Ava, there's a lot of them. And if there is one that you bought from us, or it's in the book, or you love this, but you're not understanding, or you just want, hey, that would be a good class to teach, let us know.
Hey, can I let you know?
Yeah.
I want a Wanda class.
Okay.
Can we do Wanda?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Now I got to make a Wanda. That's awesome, because I really love, Wanda is the one that's on the cover.
And it's so cute.
It is cute. I love this 3-piece sashing here.
Yes.
So looks like, anyway, that is, and it looks a little tricky. I bet it is a little tricky, but it's probably
not as tricky as you think it is.
Exactly. So,
And here's what we're not doing in 2024, okay? We're not telling ourselves that we can't do things anymore.
That's right.
Because this is what Danielle and I keep discussing, is we decided that was hard and that I couldn't do it because somebody told me it was hard.
Exactly.
No, we're not doing that anymore.
No.
Just keep trying new things.
Right.
You don't have to love it, but don't stop yourself before you even try.
I just finished a quilt that I'm not happy with.
Yeah.
Because but yet I continued on. I finished it. The fabric, it was a pattern that came with, which equals a free pattern, which equals don't do it. Okay, but you can.
You can.
Yeah, you can try it out. That's what I did. I really liked the way this looked. I didn't like that the way that they have you piece it, things don't line up well. Anyway, but I didn't stop and say, I can't do this.
Right.
I just continued on. And we're going to try hard things. You can do hard things. I do hard things all the time.
Yeah.
And nobody dies from doing hard things. Sometimes I bet you do. But we're not talking about that today.
Not in quilting.
No. Right. Both Wednesdays, this week and next week, we have open sews. They may be full, though.
I think they are.
So we keep having open sews a couple of Wednesdays out of the month, usually 2, sometimes 3 Wednesdays each month. We have an open sew, and that's a $10 come sit and sew your project. They are filling up rather quickly, and we do have them on our website all the way through the whole year.
Yes.
So if you're like, I know that in September I want to do an open sew, you can go sign up for it now.
Right.
Well, not right now because you're watching us, but
Or if you are someone where you're like, oh, I have kiddos, and so I can't do it in the summertime, but in August, I'm really going to need to get out of the house and talk to other adults.
Yeah, and for a minute.
Yeah, you can go ahead and sign up for those. And that's, again, another great way to build community and meet other quilters.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so that is the rest of May.
Yes.
Other than, I do want to remind you guys, the 25th of May is a Saturday. It's the last Saturday of the month, and that is show and tell. So show and tell, we started doing because we're doing the mystery quilts each month.
Yes.
But it is not specific to just mystery quilts. We're doing it for whatever you want to bring in.
Yeah. Just show us what you're working on.
Will you bring in your bag?
Yeah, I will.
Yay. So the 25th is show and tell. So if you want to participate in show and tell, you have to be here by 9. We open the doors at 9:15. We lock them at 9:27. I don't know, 28? What does he always say? I don't know.
I think he says 28.
Okay. Well, anyway. And then you can be here. You can be live studio audience and you never have to be on screen at all. And so no, you can still be incognito, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You need more open sews. I know, right? What we need, Loretta, is we need a bigger room. Like, don't start talking to me about that. Like, there have been days where I'm like, could we move the long arms into the classroom and use the long arm studio, which is huge, for classes instead?
We only have 5 or 6 long arms.
Right.
I mean, no big deal.
It'll all fit. No. So you see, I start doing crazy stuff like that. So, we need to have more open sews or people will be probably fighting. And especially a lot of people like to come with a friend or 2 friends. And so it gets packed pretty quick. We've also started going, okay, we really could have a 9th spot in here maybe.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to overcrowd the room. So, okay. So that's all that's left for this month. Then
moving on to June.
Don't worry. If you're like, I live far away, I can't come to any of your classes. First of all, that's not true because we've had people from very far away. Actually, I think she's on today. Did I see Diane on? Yes. Yep. Good morning, Diane. She came and took a class with us. So, and she lives far away.
Mm-hmm.
So
the Hampton Inn town is wonderful if you need a place to stay.
Yep.
I understand that makes the cost of a class a little higher, but
yes.
That is more time away from your housework. Right. And maybe you could bring a project with you and sew in your room.
Yes.
So that sounds like a little mini getaway.
Right.
That could be fun.
I've now scrolled funny to, I'm like, wait, didn't we already answer that? Okay. So in June, we have lots of things going on, and we are trying to figure out how to add more things always, right?
Yes.
So we do have a handy quilter event the first week in June. So June 3rd, 4th is a non-owners or new owners
Yes.
class, and that is, you talk more about it. You put the thing up. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So handy quilter education classes are always super fun for us because we get to bring in an outside educator. Not that we don't love our other instructors, we absolutely do, but it is so nice to get somebody new in all the time because you pick up a new tip or trick every time we have somebody in. So that's always awesome. So for the non-owner or new owner classes, that's 2 days, 9 to 4. Your lunch is included, and it comes from Cafe on the Abbey, so you know it's delicious. That class, you're going to do some long arm basics and some great tips on free motion your first day.
Yeah, and so in the basics, I mean, you really learn about needles and thread and
tension, how to load the machine.
Yeah, so many things that you're like, oh yeah, that's a lot of stuff that is very important. And I'll tell you, even in that class, every time in the long arm basics class, and I've been now quilting for 9 years almost, I still learn something because every instructor that comes in has a tip that I'm like, oh my gosh, that would have made my life easier.
Right.
You know, so it's a great class.
And even if you are someone who's like, I don't think I'm ready for a long arm in my life, it is still so helpful just to understand the process. Yeah. Because I don't own a long arm. I mean, I work here amongst them. Yeah. But you know, as a piecer, it has made me a better piecer because I understand the finishing process. Right. So that's what you're going to do day 1. Day 2 is going to be working with rulers on the long arm and working with the robotic system. So that's always really cool. And I've had people who say, I'm never going to buy robotics, and totally understand that. But it is really nice. It's just fun to play with the machine and see what it can do. It is. Because then it's like, oh, okay, I see that. Now let me just get back to my, free motion quilting and, move on. So yeah, I am a gadget girl. So I'm like, what can it do? Oh, look at that.
Exactly.
I can make this. I could do custom quilting easy. I can just drop a block in. I can drop this shape. I can skew.
Make everything a different shape and size and stretch it. And it's really fun to be able to see that, especially if you've been quilting a long time and you're using a stencil and you can only use it in that size. And so now you've got a block that's a different size. Now what do I do?
Yes.
Lots of great information.
Especially because for me, like, okay, we talked about the hand quilting class. We're talking about rulers with the handy quilter class. Those are both beautiful, but they are slow. You have to take your time. Right. With the robotics, you can get beautiful results, and it's not quite as slow.
Right. So for those like Jason who need instant gratification.
Yes. No, okay. I'm that way too.
Me too, by the way. I do not want anything to take a long time. When I get, the quilt that I was just making that wasn't turning out as great as I wanted also took a long time. And I was like, why? And it would have taken longer if I didn't have a stripology ruler, if I didn't have, a good machine that is going to do my laser light. There was a lot of tools that I used that made this go faster. But even still, I was like, this is a slow going quilt.
Right. So Jason posted out there, bring a friend. That is such a great idea because you will be working with someone on the machine. So that way it's not totally focused on you. You kind of get a little break. You can swap back and forth.
Right.
I find that helps too because sometimes you miss something and your neighbor catches it and you can kind of work together.
Right.
But beyond that, the next day, we're having a workshop day. So this is for our machine owners who are wanting to kind of expand their skills a little bit.
Right.
You will be able to take, well, it's just one day. You still get lunch that day. That is 2 classes, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. One on negative space and how to kind of think about that and use different quilting motifs to fill up that negative space, and a class on feathers.
Nice.
Yes.
Feathers are hard, and
They are hard.
And a lot of times people don't realize that there are so many different kinds of feathers.
Yes.
And there are easier ways to do feathers. And so that's a really cool thing, because nice to see a different way. So
I didn't go over pricing. I'm sorry. For the non-owner event, for those 2-day classes, that's $150, and those are from 9 to 4. The workshop class is just $100 for the all day, and that is also 9 to 4.
Nice. Okay, so then we have, I don't know. I'm going to go over beginning quilting, and then I think we're pretty much. We'll talk about
long
arm certification, and then we're pretty much caught up.
Yeah.
So then we could tell you about the subscription stuff that's going on and the really cool things that we have happening here at Warm and Cozy.
Yes.
So, but let me tell you about beginning quilting. Again, this is a class that used to be multiple days. Like, it was 8 sessions that were 2 hours. We tried to make it 6 hours. Now we have it in 2 whole day, so a 9 to 4 class with an hour break, and we've made it that way so that you only have to block off 2 Saturdays, right? It is hard to get, even if you just do it from 10 to noon. 8 Saturdays in a row that you don't have something going on is really difficult. So we have June 8th and June 15th. There is beginning quilting class, which Sadie was just pointing out the quilt to you. It comes from a 3-yard book, which, if you are new to this, like, that's a great way to get started. There's a ton of different patterns. You're only using 3 1-yard pieces, and you're making these, very interesting looking quilts, right? They're like but yet easy.
Yes.
So,
and it makes it so easy to shop for fabric, because you just need 3 1-yard pieces that go together. It's really great. The other thing that's really awesome about the beginning quilting class is we really cover everything. You start from how do you pick out fabric,
right,
and end with, how do we quilt it? How do we bind it?
Right.
How do we do borders?
Teaches you binding, teaches you all of that. And, does that mean that you're going to be an expert at all of them by the end of 2 classes? Probably not, but you will have a much better understanding of how I should be cutting my fabric. A lot of us learned from YouTube, from the internet, from teaching ourselves. And so sometimes it's just nice to get an instructor in front of you and that can walk you through how to read a pattern, how to make adjustments if you need to. You want to make this bigger. Okay, how do I do that? The pattern kind of tells me, but how do I, how do I expand on that? So Debbie teaches the class. I really was about to say Mom. Mom teaches the class. Debbie is the instructor, and she has been doing this a long time. So she knows how to help you through those habits that you've kind of created that you're like, I don't really think this is right. How do I do this differently? She's able to help you through all of those things. So
this is another class where if you have a machine, absolutely bring it, because we want to get you comfortable with your machine. If you don't have one, we can absolutely supply one for you.
Yep.
But this is a great class if you have a good friend that could be a great friend. Okay, get them involved in quilting.
Right,
and then they can be your quilty friend.
Yeah.
So get them to sign up for beginning quilting.
You guys can come for, 2 Saturdays, and there you go, right?
Yeah. Also great if you have a younger person in your life that has expressed interest, but maybe you don't have the time to sit and teach them, then let us do it for you.
Yeah. We have taught this class to, I don't remember how old she was, but anyway, we've had kids in the class. We've had, and I always tend to think that someone that's older than me has been doing this forever.
Sure.
Right. And that is not the case. Maybe you just retired this year and you're like, I really hate to admit it, but I am a beginner. Don't,
of course.
Come on, let's get this. You'll really get a lot of information, and you'll be on your way to making quilts.
Yeah.
start to finish. Okay, so I did tell you that I'm teaching Nova. That's this one. And that will be on Thursday, June 27th. It's an all-day class also, I think 10 to 4. And, this looks more challenging than it is. And you're never really making a star. You're making the blocks, and when you put them together, they make stars. So a cozy cut's going to get you. You got to have a cozy cut. You got to have, or yardage. If you want to just make this in 2 colors, you can do that. And your pattern. And yeah, a stripology ruler works great. The one thing about all of the GE Designs quilts is they are always written with stripology in mind, but she always includes regular rulers too. Yes. So you have a friend who's like, I'm never using that stripology ruler. I don't like it. I like my method. That's okay. That friend can come with you to class too. They still have to buy the pattern, but they can use their regular ruler. We've got it all figured out for you. So we also, Jason teaches the long arm certification class. And so we always have that 1 or 2 times per month. Sometimes there are some months we cannot put it a second time. June happens to be one of those. So Monday, the 17th of June, he has from 9 to 1 long arm certification class. Also, if that date doesn't work for you, or if you are really wanting to, so what is long arm certification?
It is kind of the long arm basics that you're going to get from the Handy Quilter Education event. But it's taught by Jason. He goes over all of the safety things, like, don't put your hair in the machine.
Right. So that way you can come and rent one of our long arms. And you can, he tells you throughout the class, you're not going to remember all this. It's okay. You have Kelly there available with you when you come to rent. She's awesome. She runs our machines full time. So if the 17th doesn't work for you, but you want to rent, you're like, I never want to buy a machine. I don't have a giant space for that. That's not what I'm interested in. You can take the Handy Quilter Education event, the 3rd and 4th. So the non-owner or new owner education event, and we will count that as your renter certification.
Correct.
And you will get a lot more information. It's
Absolutely.
2 full days, you get lunch, all that stuff, instead of 9 to 1 of Jason trying to get through it all really quickly. So I've had a lot of people who want to rent that are like, yeah, well, I don't, because in Jason's class, he shows you a couple of different ways to meander. And that's it. I mean, there's only so much time.
Sure.
Whereas when you learn how to free motion quilt in the education event, you're going to have
an afternoon.
Yeah. So all of that gives you all that information, I think.
But also good if you're thinking that might be something that you enjoy or that you want to move into. A good way to get a taste for it is to take the certification class and rent time. That's going to kind of give you an experience of what it's like to quilt all day on a machine.
It's your test drive, right?
Exactly.
You don't buy a car without test driving it, right? Usually not, anyway. So this is your way of test driving, your way of bringing your fabric in, doing your project, getting it finished, and going, okay, I really liked that. This is something that I think I want to continue to do. So, yeah.
Perfect.
I think we've covered classes, by golly. Woo.
I think we have. Do you guys have any questions? Also, are there classes that we aren't offering that you'd like to see? We will work on it. We don't always have an instructor available for every technique.
Yeah.
But, or if you're someone who would love to teach classes for us, please reach out.
Right.
We would love to talk to you about that.
Yeah. We have found in the past that summertime, we don't fill a lot of classes. And it's funny. We will put several classes out. One will be oversold. Could have filled it twice. And 4 other classes can't get anybody to sign up. So it just really is kind of tricky to get enough people to fill a class during the summer. So we will still put out some stuff for July. And, June's pretty full. But we'll put out some stuff for July and early August. But really our plan is we're going to pump up for the fall. I want my classroom full every day. Like I want there to be a class scheduled every day so that we are using that space and we're getting you guys in so you can hang out with us and quilt.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
Before we get into this, I do also just want to mention summer is also shop hop season.
Oh my gosh, it is.
And so we are going to be part of the All Illinois Shop Hop this year. That is August and September. We have started pre-selling magazines and t-shirts.
Yes, we had some purchased yesterday, so that's great. So get yours in now. You'll be first on the list when those things come hot off the press.
Right. So we have to tell them how much we want to order. So the more that you can pre-order, the more we can
get those numbers right.
Right.
Yeah.
We're taking a better guess at how many we need.
I really don't want to, have to tell someone that I don't have a magazine. Like we fought the first year running out of shirts too soon.
Right.
The second year going, okay, did we order enough magazines?
Right.
And then having too many shirts, but not enough. So we're trying to get a better feel for it. So that's why we're doing pre-sales. So.
Yes.
Oh, yay. Diane says she's going to see if she can make the 27th.
Nice.
Come down and make a Nova. That would be awesome. So you can come take a class with Diane.
Yes.
And me.
And Diane is so nice and wonderful.
She's so sweet. Okay. So we have a couple of subscription things we want to talk about. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So first is the one that we've been talking about, but we're going to stop talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm here to break your heart.
I'm so sorry.
So we have been really trying to get the Northcott
Stonehenge
Gradations subscription box information ready. What we are finding is that we're going to run into trouble, and so we're not going to do it.
Yes.
So we are going to do something different, and we're working out those details. And I have learned now to keep my mouth shut until we have details worked out.
Yes.
Because I was so excited and wanted to do this, and then I'm finding out that shipping on this certain month and doing the things the way that I wanted them done is not really how that company sends their fabric out, right?
Unfortunately, it's not the way the world works.
It isn't. So it worked really well with our paintbrush solids because they always have them in stock. So we were able to go, okay, I want these 20 on this month delivered, and I want these delivered here. And that was easy and fine, but not the same with all companies. So makes it a little tricky, but what we are going to do is we're going to put together some really, I'm not supposed to tell them.
No, you're not supposed to tell them.
Okay.
So here's where our issue came in with the Stonehenge gradations. So it is not, there's nothing wrong with Northcott.
No. Oh my
Northcott
gosh.
is wonderful.
So great. Yeah. That's not the problem.
when Stonehenge gradations first came out, we were able to get the entire line.
Right.
Many of you bought it.
Yep.
That's why we were like, oh, this is wonderful. We should do a subscription.
Right.
But it is reorderable. But unfortunately, because it's no longer a new line, they can't guarantee that they'll have everything in stock. And there could be delays.
Right.
So we didn't want to tell you, hey, we're going to do this box and it's going to be all the bluey prints.
Right.
And then they don't have them and it's going to be 3 months before they come in.
Right.
And everything falls apart and we're crying. Okay,
right.
No one needs that.
No.
So, again,
that's a much better explanation.
No one is at fault. No one's in trouble.
Right. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh.
It's just that.
And we still are planning a big Northcott order.
Yes, we're going to reorder.
For doing, because we've sold out of a lot of that gradations, and we're going to order some of their basic gradations too, or Stonehenge, rather.
Yes.
So we're ordering lots of things that are all going to work together. But then once it gets in-house, I can make decisions on how to package that up.
Yeah. So we're kind of learning. We really need to, if we want to do a subscription, we need to do it when the fabric first comes out, so that stock can be guaranteed.
Right.
And so that's what we're doing.
Right.
So we have a different subscription box to tell you about.
Yes.
We kind of teased it a little bit. But we are going to do a Tim Holtz Eclectic Elements palette subscription.
It's so cool.
Are you Tim Holtz fans? Do you know who Tim Holtz is?
Yeah, so Tim Holtz is a mixed media artist. So he has done lots of things in the scrapbooking world and things like that. So he has done fabric now for many years with Free Spirit, and they have put together this starting to ship in October to us. So we're going to start the subscription starting in November.
Correct.
And it is for 12 months. And each month you're going to get 10, either fat quarters, half yards, whole yards, whatever you choose. And so we're going to show them like what they're going to get in October.
So Free Spirit has already done a lot of the work for us, which is so nice. Every month they're going to send us 10 different prints that are all within a color palette. And so that is going to be how it's going to be packaged for you. So the very first month that we're going to get in October, that would be the November box, is pinks. It's these beautiful pink prints. And, you know, a lot of them are ticket stubs or, there's
a floral print. There's, you know, things that look like it's been stamped.
Yeah.
You know, and they're also showing some projects here. Like, isn't that cute?
Yes.
Or make this little flower one, or make an apron or a bag. So they have lots of ideas that we will also give you so that you kind of can go, okay, do I want to do that? We're going to give you a free pattern every month.
Yes.
Some of these patterns that are listed in here are probably free patterns on their website.
Some are paid patterns.
So anyway.
It does have that kind of scrapbooky look. Definitely has that distressing. It looks vintagey.
Writing on it, you know, scroll work kind of writing.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's going to be really exciting. We can't wait for that. Also, the first, I think, 20 people who sign up for the subscription are going to get a free tote bag as well. So that's exciting. And they're already color coordinated. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. And so then the next month, that is the reds, you know, they're still showing that same, you know, here's the apron or the bag, here's this one. But these prints are different.
They are.
So he does a ticket again, but that's the only one that I'm seeing that is the same.
Yeah, across the subscription, you'll see a couple of SKUs that are just colorized differently. Not every month, but across the whole subscription. But a lot of them are unique SKUs, so that's really fun.
Yes. So for me, being a collector, I just want them all so I can look at them.
Yes. So similar to the Paintbrush Solids subscription, we're going to give you some different fabric cut size options.
Right.
So there's a fat quarter box, there's a half yard box, and then there's a 1 yard box.
Right. Each month gets you 10. So
right.
10 fat quarters, 10 half yard, whichever you prefer.
The fat quarter boxes will be $49.99 per month. The half yard will be, I'm sorry, my notes are over here.
Just get your notes.
The half yard box is going to be $89.99 per month, and the full yard box is going to be $159.99 per month.
Nice.
So you're saving a little bit by getting the larger cuts each time.
So Barb asked a good question. Are they essentially the same but different colorways? Yes and no. There are some prints that I feel just get recolored. Like the tickets get recolored. I see them in red.
They're in the orange.
And the pink and the orange.
Yes.
But then there is a floral print. Oh, so that's the same too. That's the same. Maybe just recolored a little bit. So yes and no. There are unique SKUs.
It's like you get a map, but it's not the same map each time.
Right.
There's kind of a collage-y print, but it's not the same collaged thing every time.
Exactly.
We have the first 3 months already on lookbook papers. that we can absolutely show you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also, they have a lot of the prints available for you to see on Free Spirit's website.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always check them out there as well if you can't stop in and look at
Yeah, because I'm not sure how I would post this, like, other than you're just going to see a little,
right.
you know, it does, like, I don't know that I have this that I can post.
Right.
Right. So what I would have would be kind of a collage skew. It wouldn't make sense. So, but definitely if you're in the shop and you want to see them, totally it'll show you, no problem. You can, we did not set up a sign up fee, right?
Right.
No sign up
No cost to sign up.
Nope.
So if you want to sign up, that will get you in, and then it will start, the subscription will auto deduct from your account, whatever card you set up to be on file, beginning in November. So those you can find under our subscriptions tab on our website. I'm going to link it. So bear with me. You have to talk now.
So, right, here I am talking. No. Yeah, so we said, no, we're not going to take a sign up fee, and we're just going to do it this way. And like I said, there will be the free pattern each month. You're going to get these 10 SKUs. I'm also going to suggest that we get some basics back in.
Yeah.
So that we can, because a lot of Tim's basics would go with this. So like the cracked shadow or the worn crock.
Or provisions, which is like a solid-ish, but kind of has like the
distressed and
the aged dots.
Right.
Things like that.
So, no sign-up fee, Jason. Who knew, right? But like we said, the first 20 to sign up are going to be able to get that free bag. And I have to cut it off at a certain point. Like it's like mid-June, I have to place my order for what we're going to get. And then that's that. I can't get any more past that. So we want to make sure that you guys get what you want. So if you are a 1 yard fan, because that's where I'd be. But anyway, I'd say, make sure that you, or whatever, whatever level you want to be at, get signed up early so that your spot is guaranteed.
And if you're not sure that you want to commit to the whole subscription, but you are interested in some of the fabrics, we will have them available for sale after we cut everything for our members in the subscription service, of course.
Right.
So if you just really need those orange tickets in your life,
right,
we can help with that or when those come out.
Yep. So also good for us to know that, I really like it, but I'm not sure, that kind of thing. Just so that we can make sure we have at least a little bit extra.
Right. Because I don't believe these are going to be reorderable. This is still going to be a one and done line.
Yeah.
So once they're gone, they're gone.
That. Yeah. I know that the provision there's always stuff like some of their backgrounds or their whatever that they make and they reprint those. But
correct.
Not always everything. And this is definitely one that we were told you need to get in by the limit or you're going to be out.
Right.
Yeah. Unless we cut it all up for subscription. Right. So,
that's why it's great to sign up early so that we know exactly how many and we can plan to have some extra to put on the sales floor.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other information we need to throw at them today?
No. Again, we do have something in the works for the Northcott, Stonehenge gradations. There is still something that will be happening. I just can't guarantee a monthly program. And so I'm not going to do that. It took me a long time. Right now we're doing pre-orders for the Shop Hop stuff, but so long I have said, no way, we don't take pre-orders. We don't do that because we had lots of shipping issues in 2020, 2021. They carried over to 22 a little bit. Everything's gotten a lot better.
Much better.
We're getting things on time and stuff like that, or, mostly. But I don't want to put my customers in a situation where I'm like, okay, now I have to tell them that this is going to be late or, can't do the color I wanted.
Right. And unfortunately, when you're talking about a collection that's 70 SKUs, it's not like we can just order it all ahead of time and hold it because we don't have storage space like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna be better about that in the future.
Mostly, they're going to just rein me in from telling you guys before we have it all nailed down. Sorry, you won't get secrets anymore from me. Unless you corner me.
I think that's a genetic problem in our family. Keeping secrets is very difficult for us because we get excited. We want to share our excitement with you. That's the best part.
Right.
So anyway.
Yeah. We can't buy gifts early because we give them then.
Yeah.
So then I have to buy another Christmas present because I already gave you one and it wasn't Christmas. Anyway, that's just how it goes. So, all right. Well, was there,
we threw a lot of information at you this morning.
Yeah, let's see. Was there questions or anybody, people were asking about cost.
Yeah, we got that. We got that. I think we answered most of the questions. I will still check these comments for a while. So if you're watching this later and you have questions, please throw them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you.
Sounds great.
But we're going to go get ready to open up our shop. We will see you at 11 a.m. when we open.
Sounds good.
We're here till 4, so come by and see us.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, she's supposed to.
I forgot. I have to turn it off.
See ya.